Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Harmoning, President of the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to our Minnesota House District 56A Candidate Forum, and I will turn it over to Brady Folkestad, our moderator.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm Brady Folkestad. I'm chair of the Public Policy Committee for the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce. As Jennifer said, today we welcome you to the House District 56A Candidate Forum. We have our two candidates, the endorsed GOP candidate, Pam Myra, and the endorsed DFL candidate, Jess Hansen. Thank you both for joining us today. As we move through, the format will be as follows. We'll give each candidate 2 minutes for an introduction. We will have 4 questions that the Public Policy Committee has developed and distributed to the candidates prior to today's forum, and following up with 1 minute of closing remarks. As Jennifer said, I'll be moderating. I'll also be the timekeeper for today's forum. When the candidates are free to speak, my background will be green. In their last 15 seconds of time, my background will turn to yellow, and then when they are out of time, my background will turn to red. With that, prior to us going live, we did have a coin flip to determine the order in which the candidates would answer questions. With that, our candidate Jess Hansen won the coin toss, and she will be going first. So Jess, to you, the first question, or more of an introduction, please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose to run for office.
Well, thank you, Jennifer and Brady, and to the Burnsville Chamber for hosting this forum, and to everyone joining us on Facebook Live. I'm Jess Hansen, and I'm a single mom of 2 public school-aged kids who are 16 and 9. I'm a 6th-generation Minnesotan and a 1st-generation college graduate. I have my Bachelor's of Science degree in social work from St. Catherine University, and I'm just wrapping up my master's degree in advocacy and political leadership at Metropolitan State University. Now I'm equipped and ready to serve my community as a public servant. So a little about my background. I grew up in Lakeville in a trailer park, and my family struggled to make ends meet. My dad worked in a factory in Shakopee and part-time overnights at Pepsi right here in Burnsville. I went to public school in Farmington. I played soccer throughout Dakota and Scott County, and I earned good grades. Burnsville's always had a really important place in my life because as a kid, before Lakeville had their development boom, my family frequented Burnsville to shop for school clothes and appliances at Burnsville Center. We received all of our health care here, and we regularly visited my great-grandfather's business that's just off of Chowan Avenue. My first apartment was near Buck Hill, and I purchased my home here in Burnsville while I was in college. I've been living and raising my family here in Burnsville now for 6 years, and I've worked for an insurance company for nearly 15. I'm running for the State House because I have firsthand experiences with many of the struggles that families are facing in our community. My campaign is centered around the issues most important to folks here in Burnsville and in Savage. It's affordable health care, it's equitable education, it's the desire for a responsible and proactive government. I believe that politics is how we care about each other, and I believe that there are real problems facing real people that need real solutions. And I believe this community deserves to be represented by somebody who's ready and able to amplify the voices of our district from the kitchen table all the way to the committee table. I believe you deserve to have a fierce advocate in St. Paul who will fight for the issues most important to you. So thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for the introduction, Jess. And now to Pam, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose to run for office.
Well, again, thank you, Brady and Jennifer, for inviting me to this forum, and also to the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce. I am Pam Myra, a longtime resident of Burnsville. I graduated from Burnsville High School in 1975. I'm a certified public accountant, a former audit manager at KPMG. It's an international public accounting firm. And I served in 2 terms in the Minnesota legislature from 2011 through the beginning of 2015. While there, I chief authored 4 bills that were unanimously passed in the House and signed into law by the governor. So I've experienced bringing people together, getting them to agree on important issues for Minnesota. I did not seek re-election in 2014. My husband, Chuck, and I have been married for 39 years, and we have raised our 3 children in Burnsville. Last summer, Republican leaders, both in Burnsville and Savage, requested I consider running again and serving the community. And 800 people signed that petition asking me to represent them. And so I am running again. I want to serve. The key areas of focus will be on safe and secure communities and helping Minnesotans and their businesses recover from COVID-19 and protecting Minnesotans from tax increases. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. Thanks for that introduction. And thank you both for keeping on time here. That's awesome. Moving into our first question, Pam, this one is going to be going to you first. Burnsville businesses are facing unprecedented and uncertain times due to COVID-19 and civil unrest this spring. Will you support efforts to keep businesses open? And what financial assistance would you propose to offer Burnsville businesses as well? Go ahead.
I most definitely want to see Minnesota businesses reopen. The governor's emergency powers and unilateral and sometimes arbitrary executive orders have devastated many Minnesota businesses with heavy-handed regulations and fines. In addition to lifting the governor's emergency powers and allowing businesses to freely reopen, it will be crucial for the business community to have the confidence state government will not further injure them by imposing steep tax hikes as proposed and passed by the Democrat-controlled House in 2019. Minnesotans have suffered enough. I commit to reopen Minnesota for business and hold down taxes.
Thank you, Pam. And now over to you, Jess. Same question. Will you support efforts to keep businesses open, and or what sort of financial assistance might you support for area businesses?
Absolutely. COVID has caused uncertainty to touch every aspect of our lives, and we need to elect people who take it seriously. I strongly support mask mandates and expanded testing because the best way to get the economy back is to get COVID under control as soon as possible. Businesses and the economy can begin to rebound when COVID's under control. Much of the federal money intended to support businesses never reached businesses in our communities. I also support the passage of a bonding bill, not only because it funds our infrastructure and more, but also because there are thousands of good jobs waiting for the Republican Minnesota Senate to pass it and get it to the governor. We have to immediately invest in low and no interest loans for small businesses so we don't lose them. And I also support tax deductions for small businesses and working to expand Minnesota Care buy-in options so businesses can reduce the high costs that they're putting forward to insure their employees.
Thank you, Jess. Moving on to the next question. And again, as we're rotating, Jess, this one will be for you first. One of the most critical issues for our community is the future of Burnsville Center. The city of Burnsville has requested tax increment financing, or TIF, for this area and has been denied in the last 2 legislative sessions. Will you support this effort this session, and what can you do to garner support to make sure this gets passed?
Yeah, absolutely. The TIF bill for this project was actually carried by my predecessor, and so I've already been briefed and am ready to carry that torch of community investment forward. Now that the powers that be have come together, we have a great opportunity to finally make progress there. By lowering that tax burden during the redevelopment, we can incentivize this revitalization. Now, TIF bills in general, they can be a hard sell in the legislature, but there really is no other path for this. Burnsville deserves a fierce legislative advocate fighting for this TIF bill, and I am that candidate. I will strongly support the city in this effort to ensure that this is not wasted space, and so it can once again be a vibrant, bustling commerce and recreation space. I have what it takes, both in my professional skills and passion, to nurture the relationships with the tax committee chairs and to maintain the support in House and foster it in the Senate. Mayor Kotz's work on this must be matched with equal dedication and support in the legislature. She's worked extremely hard on this, and she deserves all the support the legislature can provide.
Thank you. Now over to Pam. Same question to you. The city of Burnsville has been working on TIF for the last couple of sessions and has been denied. Do you support this effort this session? And what can you do to garner more support to get the bill passed?
Sure. While serving in the Minnesota legislature from 2011 through 2014, I served on the tax committee. In my second term, I successfully chief authored a tax increment financing bill for the city of Savage for the reclamation of a huge gravel pit. If I'm fortunate enough to win my election, I plan to request to serve on the House Tax Committee again. I commit to review the Burnsville City Council tax increment financing proposal to determine why it has been unsuccessful these last two sessions, and to work closely with the city to find resolution and solve the problems relating to it.
Yeah, thank you. Now this, as we're rotating, next question, this will be first over to Pam. City of Burnsville has been home to 3 landfills serving the entire state of Minnesota for decades. There's currently a plan to dig up 2 closed sites and consolidate them into the 1 remaining open landfill site. Do you support the dig and move plan? Or if not, why not? And if so, what will you do to help us get this plan approved and funded in this next session? Go ahead.
Thank you. I recall my family occasionally taking trash to the Burnsville landfill back in the 1960s when I was a grade school child. And while we lived in Bloomington, my family moved to Burnsville when I was a teenager in 1973. And in 1986, my husband and I made Burnsville our home, and we've raised our 3 children here. We have witnessed numerous proposals regarding the Burnsville landfill over the decades. I do not believe this complex, multifaceted issue can fairly be addressed in less than 60 seconds. Nevertheless, I am committed to hear out all stakeholders to seek a fair and optimal solution to the Burnsville landfill issue.
Okay, thank you. And Jess, moving over to you, Burnsville landfill, they got the dig and move plan. Would you support that? If not, why not? And if so, how might you move that forward to get that approved and funded? Go ahead.
This is another project that the city's been working really hard on that I wholeheartedly support. The stakeholders committed to and invested in this dig and move plan have worked really hard to put this together. Our clean water is at significant risk if we continue to do nothing about it. As a Minnesotan, protecting our lakes and rivers is extremely important to me. Our community is going to be the first hit with repercussions, and every community downstream is impacted by the decisions we make about this. It is simply unacceptable to evaluate and do nothing and allow the dump to infect the river and the groundwater. This is a catastrophic environmental issue that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. The necessary stakeholders are ready to reapproach the MPCA with the best plan to date. I'm endorsed by environmental organizations because I already have the relationships established to do my part in the legislature to procure results. And I want to take a second to just applaud Mayor Kotz and the City Council and Rep. Sandy Mason. They've done great on this and they deserve our support.
Thank you. Next question, question number 4. This question is going to Jess first. Safety is a top concern for businesses across the state of Minnesota and here in Burnsville. Where do you stand on the effort to defund police? Go ahead.
So first and foremost, I want to say that no matter what we look like or where we live, every Minnesotan deserves to feel safe in their communities. We need to both preserve peace and safety and avoid violating human rights and constitutional liberties. And let me be clear, there is no legislation on the docket to defund police, nor is this something that our city governments are planning to do. I support providing the resources that police regularly solicit from society to help reduce crime overall. I support reimagining the expectations we have of law enforcement as the fixers of every single problem in society. Society expects a lot out of them and puts a lot on their shoulders. I'm committed to supporting crime reduction and community-centered policing because according to research, crime reduction looks like affordable housing, quality mental health services, good wages, and strong education systems. Reimagining what we expect out of police is a vastly different conversation and is frankly a pragmatic 21st century approach in my opinion.
Thank you. And Pam, going over to you, same question. With the safety of Burnsville and statewide businesses in mind, where do you stand on defunding police?
As I've been talking to literally hundreds and hundreds of people in our community, this is the area that they are most concerned about. They are concerned about the violence and the lawlessness spreading from the urban areas out to the community. And I am adamantly opposed to all efforts to defund and disband the police. I am committed to supporting our law enforcement and reasonable reforms to provide safe and secure communities. I have also been endorsed by the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association.
Great, thank you. And great, thank you both for your time today. Thank you for answering our questions and remaining very timely. We're moving on to our last, which is our closing remarks. And Pam, you get to go first on this one. Why are you the best candidate to represent our area?
First off, I'd greatly appreciate your vote. I'm a proven and dedicated leader. My unanimously passed bills in the Minnesota House of Representatives demonstrate my ability to bring people together and find agreement. I'm a certified public accountant and will take my professional training to the Capitol and use it. I'm endorsed by the Minnesota Chamber Leadership Fund, Political Action Committee, and the National Federation of Independent Businesses, Minnesota PAC. Please visit my website, pamforhouse.com, for more information about my background, candidacy, and more endorsements. I would be honored to have your vote on November 3rd or before to be a servant for you in the Minnesota House of Representatives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pam. And now, Jess, why would you be the best candidate to represent our area?
Well, thank you again, Jennifer and Brady and the Chamber for hosting this forum. And thank you, Pam, for participating as well. I know the city of Burnsville needs a fierce advocate in St. Paul, and I'm ready to fight for our suburban values and expand our business economy. This is such a great place to live and to work and to raise a family. And I am beyond honored to have the opportunity to represent such a great community. I will always be accessible, reasonable, and available to ensure your voices are adequately amplified in St. Paul. My cell phone number is 651-271-9344. It's the same number my kids and my grandma call me on, and it's yours to use as well. I invite anyone interested in chatting to call or text me. My website is jesshansenforhouse.com, and remember, Hansen is spelled with an O-N. And remember, early voting is now available. And a big thank you to the city of Burnsville for making early voting convenient and accessible. I'm looking forward to all we'll accomplish together, and thank you again, everybody.
Thank you. And thank you again, both Pam and Jess. Pam Myra, the Republican endorsed candidate, and Jess Hansen, the DFL endorsed candidate for House District 56A. Thank you very much. Thank you for making your time available for us and answering the questions that the business owners had for you. And with that, we'll turn it back over to Jennifer.
Great. Thanks, Brady, and thanks to our candidates for taking the time to be here and let our voters get to know you a little better. We will be back here tomorrow with 2 more candidate forums. We'll have the State Senate District 51, as well as the Burnsville School Board candidate forums. We will again live stream those on Facebook and record them and post them on our YouTube page by the following day. So the videos of these will be available by tomorrow, and hopefully everybody can get all the information they need and get out to vote anytime between now and November 3rd. Thanks so much and have a great day.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.